today I want to talk about a documentary that we just shot in Slovakia and the thought processes behind filming it. So now that I've got the time, let me go back to the start.
What are we saying? Roasted.
By someone last minute who asked if I wanted to go and film a retreat in Slovakia. In all honesty, I said yes straight away. I was jumping at the chance to go and film in a different country, but was so busy and stuff like that, I was really reluctant to do that. But I knew it was an opportunity that I'd regret not taking, so I just kind of said yeah, and I'll figure it out. So ultimately, that led me to being in Slovakia with 18 lads filming a back to basics retreat, or a real man's retreat, whatever you want to call it. I had to learn within like 2 weeks of like what the retreat was about, what the intentions were, what angles that we need, what equipment would I need, and what the purpose was. I think one of the hardest parts about doing what we do when filming these type of things is you've got to be involved. You've got to let their guards down, because most of these people I'd never met before. Other than like maybe 5 or 6 out of the group, I'd never actually had a conversation with these people before. So it was really important that I made myself known quite quickly and got friendly with people so they were comfortable with speaking with me. They knew when I was around there'd probably be a camera about, because I had 5 days to capture as much information of the retreat, of these personalities, and try and get a bit of a story together. You know, 5 days is not a long time. One of the things I was really looking forward to is actually the challenge of filming differently. With the amount of work we've got on, it's easy to play it safe because you want to do the angles that you know, you want to interview people in the way you know how to, and you kind of get this process that works. But then with that, as you're relaying it to different staff members, or you're just doing it enough times, it becomes safe, it becomes comfortable. I feel like that's where you lose a bit of the creativity. So this was a good chance for me to really go out there, not be able to shoot anything in a way or a style that I had before, because I had no control over the environment. I didn't have a light with me. I couldn't really do a lot. I just had to rely on instinctive filming and just get stuck in, essentially. So that's exactly what I did. So for me, day one was all about covering bases. I knew we'd get there and probably wouldn't have a lot of time before we were doing something, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get involved. At least for me, when I get into a situation like that, I always start overshooting, because I would rather have too much and cut back and move some files around than actually look and go, oh, I'm gonna have to use this shot twice because I haven't got enough footage. Because I knew I would just be filming the first day, it was just important that I could strike up as many conversations with people quite strategically initially, just to kind of break the ice, and again, make sure that they knew, even though I was here to film, I was definitely going to be getting involved and I was there with them, not just to look from the outside, because I feel like that builds a lot of trust up. So day 2, I got completely stuck in. We woke up, we trained, which I joined in with. Then we went up to climb a mountain, which obviously, of course, I joined in, followed by cold water therapy, getting in a freezing lake in Slovakia. And again, I joined in and I didn't have to do that. When you're documenting something like this, it is important to just immerse yourself in that scenario and the camaraderie that you build up with the lads that are there, because they know that, okay, yeah, he's got a camera, he's actually making more of an effort, because when we're all getting out and putting a towel around ourselves, he's actually getting out and changing the angle, or maybe hitting the cord or hitting stop or whatever that is. So for me, that is the main point of documenting this. I want to be able to kind of look back and know that we managed to capture some really good shots, and it pushed me creatively because I had to think outside the box. I had no control over anything, no lighting, nothing, and I feel like at least I can get very lazy with doing that, because it's so easy to just know what you know and not want to push yourself. But that's the complete opposite reason of why I got into this industry. So something like that was kind of like a really good reset button for me, where I could look back and go, I can film things completely differently. And I think since then, it's pushed me to actually, all my usual shoots, just take a little bit of a different approach and have a little bit more thought behind each shot. And not only that, just to top off as like a final little point, is like some of the people that you meet and you talk to on trips like that, everyone's like one of a kind, but like literally these group of people that you share this experience with and you get to bond with them a little bit. It makes things so much easier, just generally, because you're learning how unique people are and how the nuances of what they do and how they act and interact with a group will actually affect everything. That group in particular, even though we were doing really difficult challenges, skiing, mountain walks, sparring, cold water therapy, breath work, everything that we were doing, we managed to keep such a good positive attitude with it. And again, if you're keeping yourself to yourself, you're in your room just until things need filming, then you're back in your room, it creates a bit of a separation, and I feel like that can be seen on camera. And it's super important that as a filmmaker, as someone who's making a documentary, whatever that is, it's your job to make sure that there isn't a lack of authenticity there, and you can only do that by doing the work. So that concludes this video for March. Thanks for watching.